everyone, welcome back to another Stitches and Scribbles video. My name is Erin and today I'm working on my April bullet journal for this year. So as always, I started off by taping the edge of my title page for April so I can easily find it from the outside of my journal. Then I took a small sample of that tape and added it to my table of contents so that I can see all the colors. I've definitely gone with some brighter colors for my tape choices this year. Usually I end up running out of shades of green and blue, but I've done a pretty good job of keeping some different colors in the mix this year. I started off by writing the title for the month, and I chose this font so that I could add some color to it later. Then in between the letters, I added an umbrella handle in gray and then made a yellow umbrella over the letters. I usually like doing a weather-inspired theme in April just because of the whole April showers phrase. I've definitely done a weather theme before, but I don't think I've done one as cohesive as this one before. I definitely kept it to shades of blue and yellow for this one. I also have a lot of different weather motifs throughout my weekly spreads. But I was really proud of how this title page turned out because, again, I did avoid doing a wreath. So after I did the umbrella, I added some little raindrops coming in at an angle and, of course, stopped those raindrops where they would hit the umbrella. And I tried to use all my different colors of blue and some gray. Then I dove right into my weekly spreads. April does start on a Friday, so I have kind of a little half weekly spread here, and I left the opposite page completely blank in case I decide I want to use it for something else. April is a Camp NaNoWriMo month or National Novel Writing Month session, so I might want to use that page to track writing if I choose to participate. If not, I will probably use it for something else. I did make sure to get in all of my sections though. Then for my first full weekly spread, I decided to go with clouds instead of boxes for my daily sections, just to do something a little bit different. It was a little challenging to space out these clouds and make sure that there was still writing room in each of them, but I think it turned out okay. Then for my remaining boxes, I just did them in my thin gray marker. All of these are Stabilo pens and markers, by the way. Then after I had all of my labels in, I added my days of the week in cursive at the bottom of each cloud because that's where it fit best. And then I decided to add in some little raindrops. Oh, shading to the clouds first, then I added the raindrops. I think this one turned out super cute. I'm definitely going to have to experiment more with shapes other than boxes for my daily sections because I really like how this one turned out. Then for my next spread, I started by sectioning everything out in my dark gray thin marker. And then I used the thicker dark gray marker to add little clouds to each section. And I wanted to use more of the darker grays for this one to keep it kind of stormy looking. So I outlined in dark gray, but filled in the clouds in a lighter gray. Then I went in with my thin yellow. Sorry if you can hear my neighbor's dog in the background. Went in with a thin yellow and filled in with a thicker, lighter one for those lightning bolts. And then added my labels as usual. I really like thunderstorm weather. Oh, I did label one wrong again, because we know I do that frequently. I really like thunderstorms for sitting and crocheting or drawing. So to me, a thunderstorm is not necessarily a bad thing, as long as you don't have to drive in it, because that makes things challenging sometimes. For my next spread, going a little bit away from the strictly weather theme, I decided to do a nighttime theme. So I started off with 2 crescent moons, and you can see that I spent some time adjusting the shapes until it was as thick as I wanted it to be, and filled those in with my light yellow. Then I went in and added some clouds and some different pastel colors. This one kind of gave me the vibes of like baby's room decorations when it was done, but I do think it turned out very cute, and you still used all the colors that I was going for in this theme, um, while branching away a little bit from the weather, since nighttime and daytime aren't really weather related, it's just time of day. But it still had some clouds in there. Then I did the rest of my sections in light gray and just went with simple boxes again. This time I made sure to label everything correctly. And I used shades of gray and purple for all of my labels. Then for my last one, because I just did a nighttime theme, I had to do some sunshine as well. So I did some bright yellow suns in the corners, which I know is very kindergarten, but it looked very cute. And I added the rays in a darker yellow for some contrast. I had this kind of teal green in my color palette, and since I hadn't used it anywhere else yet, I decided to use it for my sections here. I made my sections for the top row of days pretty tall so that I'd have room to write even in the boxes that have the sun in the corner. And I used a really pastel blue to write the days of the week in cursive. Then for my trackers, I went with some simple light gray outlines for most of them. I did my habit tracker along the top, extending slightly onto the other page because of how many days there are. Because I knew that my mood tracker for this month was going to need a fairly large vertical space. So you'll see me create the habit tracker and my other boxes directly under it so that I can use the whole section on the opposite page or on the other page that's not filled in for my mood tracker. I wanted to do a big cloud for this one and use all little raindrops to mark my moods for the day. So I created an outline for each raindrop, and I went back in afterwards and labeled them by number so that I know which one goes with which day. I also made sure to fill in that cloud and add the moods in the little mood tracker box with my other trackers. And as always, I had to check what the moods are, even though I've been using the same ones for a while. I can never memorize the whole list. Even though I used a lot of yellow throughout this spread, I went with shades of blue and purple for my moods because I actually had a fairly large color palette, so I didn't need all of the colors I had chosen. And blues and purples fit better with the rain theme than yellow would have. Filling in this cloud definitely took some time. I was also kind of trying to direct my marker strokes so that it would look kind of rounded and not as scribbly. But these markers don't do a great job of that. Here's the final flip through. Even though I've used this theme a lot in the past, especially for April, I really like that I did some different things with my weekly spreads, and I'm really excited to see how that mood tracker turns out when I'm done. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you got some ideas for your own bullet journal or that this inspired you to draw. Check out the information in the description, and I'll see you next time.